Black Ops 6 Zombies got a big update today, changing a ton of things, some good changes and some bad changes, but the biggest buff was to the swords and it made a massive difference. However, there were also some secret nerfs to one of the swords, making it way worse. So let's hop into game, check out how good the new and improved swords are, then take them to round 100 zombies and rank them to see which sword is the new best one to use. And let's also test out the other new updates along the way. If you want to see any more BO6 zombie testing videos like this in the future, make sure to unlock the subscribe button. All right, the goal is simple. Test out the new and improved swords. Step one, obviously, to build the swords. Then we're going to take the swords to round 100 health zombies to see how the new and improved swords perform on round 100. Hopefully better. All right, not playing around. We're going to do this quick and easy. So the first step to building any one of the swords is to get to round 10. So we've got one goal, get to round 10 as quick as possible. Now, on top of the sword buffs in zombies, there are actually quite a few other changes. And as we're building and testing out the swords, I want to try some of the other changes in zombies. Some of them good, some of them not so good. Not so good at all. And round 10. So now that it's round 10, we should be able to get the buckethead zombies. But beforehand, we should probably open the map. And looking for a buckethead zombie. Okay, no buckethead zombie this round. Well, anyway, our first new update that doesn't involve the swords is also on Citadel. Used to not be able to knife the very last lock on the Pack-a-Punch. This one used to not work, but guess what? You can now knife it. Super small change, but still a cool change. Pack-a-Punch is open. I would very much like to see a buckethead zombie. Okay, cool. Round 11. Still no buckethead zombie. Oh, wait, no. There was a stamp. I didn't see it. There we go. All right, so which sword should we do first? You know, we'll start with what I used to consider the worst sword in the game. The lightning sword. Oh. So come down here. We got to kill the guy with the rod. There we go. Got the long, hard rod from the dude. Before we continue, definitely need melee macchiato. Oh, wait, we already got melee macchiato. Forgot whole perkaholic thing. Okay, come over here. Hit it with this. Thank you very much. Come out here. One last rod. Oh, need that in just a second. Thank you very much. Put this in here. After all the changes, I'm wondering if the light sword is still the best sword, because before the update, the light sword was insanely good. So was the void sword. However, I think that might have changed with the new update. One. All right, come on, lightning. We've got testing to do. There's a lot of stuff that came in this update that we got to test. All right, there we go. And there we go. One upgraded sword, please. Thank you very much. So the first buff we're going to test out isn't just for the lightning sword. This is a general sword buff, meaning all of the swords got this change. You can now kill more than one zombie per swing. If you're close enough, you can actually kill 2 zombies per swing. So let's test it out. Yeah, 2 kills. All right, so swing again. Yeah, so if we're close enough, we're getting 2 kills per swing, which is double the amount you could get before. Before the update, you could only ever get 1 kill per swing. However, an interesting... and lightning. Oh, yeah, there was 2 of them. And 2 kills, 1 swing. So essentially, they gave the swords double tap. Oh. So the second kill you get isn't always a 1-hit. Depending on how close the zombie is, you're either going to insta-kill the second zombie or only do half health. But as you can see, being able to get double the amount of kills per swing with the sword is a massive buff. And this is just the general changes. We haven't even gone into the individual changes yet. All right, all the zombies in one big horde. I want to see how quickly we can take down this entire horde with the new buff damage on the swords. All right, so big horde, and we're just going to go at it. Oh, and get grabbed immediately. Now go at it. Okay. Amalgam's still an issue. Now, on top of this, another buff that all of the swords got is the Void Sheath Augment for Ether Shroud now works with the sword. So if we go ahead, use our Augment, and we start knifing, we should be able to... Well, it's supposed to make it so we do more damage with the swords when using the Void Sheath Augment, but that does not look like more damage to me. We did more damage to the server. Hello? Hello? Okay, let's try this again. All right, so big horde of zombies. Use Ether Shroud. And now we go. You know, I'm starting to think that Ether Shroud with the sword might be what's broken. Yeah, so the patch notes say that they fixed Void Sheath and it now works with the swords and it does the correct damage. However, it also just kind of crashes the game if you try to use it at all. So I would not recommend using Ether Shroud with Void Sheath with the swords, at least until that gets fixed. Because definitely killed the server again. Okay, note to self, no more Ether Shroud with the sword. Now, on top of the general changes that all of the swords got, there are also individual changes for each one of the elemental swords. So obviously, let's first go over the changes for the electric sword. The first thing they buffed on the electric sword is the special attack now does more damage. So if we have a big horde of zombies and we use the ultimate, yeah, you can see we're frying a lot more zombies than what we normally would. The special attack on the electric sword used to not be that great, but we killed that entire horde. That's because before the update, the electric beam only did 40% damage per tick. It now does 65% damage per tick, meaning it only takes 2 ticks to kill a zombie, not 3. And since it's percentage based, it doesn't matter what round you're on. You could be on round 999. The ultimate ability is going to kill just as quick. Is it already recharged? Dude, it recharges so quick now too. Look at that. So we're going to use the whole thing. All the beams gone. And now let's just get kills. Not the max ammo because that will fully recharge it. And it's recharged. It took like 25 kills to recharge this. Before the update, the electric sword was my least favorite, and now this thing kind of slaps. Now, on top of this, they also made it so the special ability happens more often. So once we have it fully charged, if we start knifing zombies, eventually we'll activate the special effect. There we go. We'll essentially get a giant dead wire strike. Now, before the update, there was a 25-second cooldown before you could activate that again. Now it's only 3 seconds. 3 seconds after we activate the dead wire effect, we can activate it again. However, it's still a random chance. Oh, amalgam versus the dead wire effect. Okay, that killed him pretty quickly. I don't know. It killed that amalgam pretty quick. Oh, dude, swinging into a horde is so much better now that you can kill more than 1 zombies per swing. Like, it's currently round 32 with this sword, and it doesn't feel like it. All right, keep going until we get the dead wire effect. There we go. So it's been activated. Wait 3 seconds, and now we have a chance to activate it again. They did make it a little bit more rare for it to activate, but the cooldown's less. So overall, you should be activating dead wire more often. All right, come on. Come on, do it again. Do it again. There we go. And we did it again. Now, if we wait 3 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, we now have a chance to activate it again. And there it is again. Before this update, the quickest you could possibly activate it a second time was 25 seconds. Come on. Activate again. There we go. Activate it again. Yeah, safe to say, you can definitely notice how much more often it's being activated. However, keep in mind, you can only activate the special ability when the sword is fully charged. So if we go ahead and use the ultimate, use all the ultimate. Now we can't activate dead wire until it's fully charged again. Now, besides those changes, there was one more change for the electric sword, and this was a visual change. Before the update, other people on your team couldn't see the electric beam coming out of your sword. Now your teammates are going to be able to see it. So not a change that really affects anything, but it's still cool to see. And time to move on to the next sword. But don't worry, we'll come back to the electric sword once we get to round 100 health, because I do want to see how each one of these swords perform on round 100. But time for the fire sword, the good old fire sword. All right, first we got to upgrade it. Thank you. 1 fire sword, please. There we go. Whoa. Is that a bug, or the fire sword just makes the zombies disappear now? What the? I don't know if that's a visual bug or if that's just how the fire sword works now. But yeah, now you see the zombie. Now you don't. There's no way it did that before the update, right? That's new. I don't know. The fire sword just seems a little bit weird while we're using it now. Maybe it always did that, but it feels off. Now, unfortunately, out of all of the swords, the fire sword got the least amount of changes. They only changed one thing for this sword. And this change is for the secret ability. So first we got to fully charge up the sword. Excuse me. Okay, now that we've got it fully charged. Oh, excuse me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Wait a minute. Wait, why is the amalgam not... Yeah, we've got the sword fully charged. Why is the amalgam not catching on fire? Did they do a secret nerf to the fire sword? Yeah, because before the update, if you were to hit any sort of special or elite with the fully charged sword, it would catch them on fire. But that amalgam did not catch on fire at all. Well, that's unfortunate. That was not the change we were talking about. But I'm assuming the change we're talking about is what affected that. Because the one buff they did give to the fire sword is once you have it fully charged and you start activating the special ability that catches zombies on fire, you're now going to be using your napalm burst augments. So in the menu, whatever augments you put on napalm burst are also going to be activated when you use the sword or when you use the special ability of the sword. However, in doing that, it seems like they massively nerfed the fire sword because before the update, every time you would knife a special or elite, you would catch them on fire and do a ton of damage. And now that doesn't happen. And I assume that's because the big game augment does that. However, I have the big game augment on, and we're not killing the specials and elites that quickly, which in my opinion was the biggest selling point of the fire sword. However, that's been nerfed. It no longer kills specials and elites super quickly. I mean, it still kills them, but nowhere near as quickly as before. So overall, with this update, the fire sword got nerfed. And unfortunately, the next sword also kind of got nerfed. But don't worry, once we... Wait, that's not... Hello? I want the sword, not my drill. Thank you. All right, light sword time, baby. Light sword. But don't worry, the fourth sword we're going to talk about did get a massive buff. All right, come on, light sword time. Light pinata, light pinata. Oh my. Oh my. Wait, all of my particles aren't working. Oh, cool. Whatever we did with the fire sword just bugged out my particles. I can't see jack. Okay, we just use Ether Shroud. We got to... Oh, if I hit this, is it going to crash the game? Okay, good. Yeah, while using Ether Shroud, since we have Void Shroud on, we can't hit any zombies or our game crashes. So we can use it, but we cannot hit the parasite. I'm pretty sure if I were to hit this parasite right now, our game would crash because of a new bug introduced with the update. Honestly, while testing these swords, I didn't expect the changes to change that much, and I'm really wondering what our ranking is going to be at the end, like which is the new best sword, which is the second best sword, third best sword, because it's much different than what I went into this thinking they were going to be. Yay, light sword. Now, unfortunately, once again, most of the changes for the light sword were nerfs. Overall, the light sword is slightly worse than it was before the update. Now, the next nerf comes to the secret ability. So once again, we got to charge up the sword. Is it already charged? Dude, oh, it is already charged. Holy crap. Charging up these swords now that you can get more than 1 kill per swing is so quick. Honestly, that's the biggest part of this entire update. Being able to kill more than 1 zombie per swing is massive. Like, actually massive. You know what else is massive? I swear to God, 1 comment. I see 1 comment like that. I'm banning everyone.
Got him.
All right, take a little bit of armor damage. Okay, that was a lot of armor damage. Because to show this off, we can't have full armor. Because if you didn't know, the ultimate ability of the light sword is every time you knife a zombie, you get some armor back. Before the update, you'd get 5% of your armor back. However, since the nerf, you only get 4% of your armor back per swing, which really isn't a massive nerf. You can see we can very quickly fully rebuild our armor just by knifing the crap out of this amalgam. Keep knifing. Yep, look at that. Actually, you know, our armor's going down quicker than what I thought it would be. It really wasn't that big of a nerf, but going from 5% armor back per knife to 4% does make a pretty big difference. Because we are struggling to stay at full armor. Oh, no, there we go. And back to full armor. So the light sword did get nerfed, but the nerfs weren't massive. As you can see, as we're knifing zombies, we're pretty much staying at full armor, even with the nerf. Now, on top of the 2 nerfs, there was actually another change for the light sword. However, I'm not quite sure what they mean by this. The patch notes read off slightly increased swing interrupt time for sword swing, which I thought all of the swords have the same swing, and I don't really know when we're getting interrupted because if you get hit, you can still knife, so I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, they slightly increased the swing interrupt time for the sword swing for the light sword. No idea what they mean. I've been trying to get hit and then swing and other things, and I really have no idea what they mean by that. But that seems like a buff, whatever it was. Is there any way an enemy can interrupt your sword swing? I don't think there is. That's why I'm so confused with this. But yeah, it's a thing. Maybe the amalgam, but like, no, like, he's not really doing anything to stop us from swinging. Maybe when we hit the amalgam, it interrupts them from being able to attack, and it does it for a less amount of time, but it seems so weird for this to be an effect that only this sword got changed on. Either way, whatever it was, wasn't that massive. So yes, unfortunately, the light sword did get multiple nerfs with this update, but in my opinion, it's still one of the best swords in the game, even with the nerfs. Getting armor back every time you knife a zombie is just such a powerful ability, nerfed or not. All right, one more sword, the Void Sword, and this one actually got a lot of buffs. And then after we go over the Void Sword, we'll go over a bunch of other changes in this update. I don't want to do them now because I just want to do all the swords in a row. Yeah, the Void Sword is usually the sword you want to build first, not last.
Later, in the void.
And Void Sword. Although we're kind of trapped in a little tiny building. Not for long. Now, the Void Sword got some pretty massive buffs. The first one is it takes a lot less kills to recharge. Beforehand, every time you use the ultimate ability, it would take 40 kills to fully charge it. Now it only takes 25 kills. If we use the ultimate, there we go. So go ahead, use it. Get a bunch of kills with it, because in my opinion, this is one of the best ultimates in the game. It kills so many zombies each time you use it. And now to get that back, it's only going to take 25 kills. Whereas before the update, it would take 40 kills. And ready to go again. Use it to kill the amalgam. Kill all the crap behind it, way over there. And guess what? Now that it's gone, 25 more kills and we can use it again. It is charged already. This thing charges so quickly now. Although we're not even seeing it. It's definitely active right here. Okay, kind of buggy. There are no particles. So we're using it, but we can't see it. The Void Sword got another buff, but this is the secret ability. So to show this one off, the sword's got to be fully charged. And it's fully charged. Only took 25 kills. So now if we keep knifing zombies, we should eventually get the Shadow Rift effect. Maybe. Maybe. The zombies are just disappearing. The particles of this game have been so bugged in the new update. I'm not even sure if we're activating the special effect. Because once the Void Sword's fully charged, you should be using Shadow Rift, but I don't see it at all. I have a feeling we're using it, it's just we're not seeing it because the particles are gone. I haven't seen it once. What if we restart the game, question mark? Okay, now that we've loaded back in, please show me some particles. Particles? Yes. All right, now let's see if we can use the ultimate. If we use this to be... Oh, sword is not fully charged. Okay, so we fully charge the sword. We fully charge the sword. Like that. There we go. So as you can see, we're activating Shadow Rift. That's the secret ability of the Void Sword. Every so often while you're using it, Shadow Rift will activate. However, with this update, they made it so it activates more often. Beforehand, it used to take 20 seconds to cool down. Now it only takes 10 seconds to cool down. So overall, while playing with the Void Sword now, you should see Shadow Rift activate more often. However, I'm still just mainly going to be spamming the ultimate, which every time you use the ultimate, you got to charge it up again to be able to use the special. But this ultimate kills so many zombies, pretty much every time I have it charged, I'm just going to throw it on the ground. So the biggest part of this update was making the amount of kills needed to get the ultimate significantly less. Good update. So now we're going to take all 4 of the swords to round 100 zombies to see which of the new buffed and improved swords is the best one to use. But before that, let's talk about other things that changed in this update. So one of the most unfortunate changes is they had a massive nerf to Shadow Rift. And we need an amalgam for this. Game, would you love to spawn me an amalgam right now? Nope, that's a doppelgast. One of the augments for Shadow Rift is called Big Game, which makes it so Shadow Rift works on elite enemies. Like an amalgam. So if we shoot the amalgam, although we have an explosive weapon, this is really not the best weapon to test this with. Hold on, let's, we need a different weapon. Gonna get rid of this big rocket launcher for this weapon right here. And we're gonna put Shadow Rift on this. That was Lightman. That was not Shadow Rift, Lego. Excuse me, I just want to buy Shadow Rift. Okay, now we're at the end of the round with an amalgam. So let's see if we can get it to activate. All right, come on, Big Game. Come on. There we go. And then he's going to fall and he dies. So if the elites and specials are damaged, it's still going to one-shot them. However, the Big Game augment on Shadow Rift isn't going to one-shot elites anymore. Maybe if they're at full health. Oh, he's... Come on. Come on. I want to show that it's not a one-shot on a full health elite. There we go. So now he's at full health. Now we got to activate. Oh. And he fall. Wait, nope, that was a zombie. Oh, there he is. Oh, it still killed him. I guess he still had a little bit of damage. So even though they nerfed Shadow Rift, it still seems like most of the time it's still one-hit killing elites. They also made changes to the Citadel boss fight. Using Deadshot against the boss is going to be more effective and help you take him down quicker because it's going to lock onto crits more easy. You're also going to be able to respawn in the boss fight. So if you have a teammate, they're playing with you, they die in the Citadel boss fight, they'll eventually respawn in the boss fight arena. They fixed a lot of the broken bugs when it came to the Easter egg steps. One of the most important ones is in this room, you could kill the zombie that would drop a lightning rod next to something and it would lock the lightning rod. It gets stuck in a corner and you couldn't grab it anymore if you killed him in a barricade, and it would stop you from being able to build the lightning sword and it would stop the Easter egg from working. So I'm really glad they fixed a lot of the broken Easter egg steps because no joke, I feel like 25% of the time I went to do the Easter egg, one of the steps would break. Surprisingly, they've also nerfed directed mode. The spawns are going to be slower, and once you've been on the same round for 5 rounds in a row, there's going to be delays in between rounds. Now, I'm not really sure how much this nerf affected directed mode, but we'll try it out in a different video to see if it's still worth grinding camos in directed mode. They also fixed one of the Easter egg step skips on Terminus Island. You used to be able to go into the lockdown room with the tubes and throw shock charges on the door and it opened back up. You can't do that anymore. But on the bright side, there was a pretty annoying bug they fixed. There was a chance when a vermin hit you, it would double hit you and pretty much instantly down you. That's no longer going to happen. So if you've had any instances where you've had full health, full armor, walked across a vermin and boom, instantly down, shouldn't happen anymore. And round 72. On this round, zombies have the same health as they have on round 100. So however the sword performs on this round is the same way it's going to perform on round 100. So we're going to start off with, in my opinion, what is now the worst of all the swords, the fire sword. So let's see, killing zombies. Yep, does a pretty decent job of killing zombies. Still activating the napalm burst effects. I don't know. On round 73, what I consider to be the worst sword is still more than usable. We are slicing through zombies. I mean, the fire sword isn't bad. It's still a usable sword, but the nerf that it got just makes it the worst out of the 4 elemental swords, in my opinion. Not terrible, just the weakest. Now, if it still had its special ability that allowed you to kill specials and elite faster, it'd be quite a bit higher on this list. But the nerf dropped it all the way down to the bottom. Now, which sword is next? This is actually a really hard decision because all 3 of the other swords are actually really, really good. So picking what's the next best is not an easy decision to make. I don't know. They're all actually really good now. I would say a 3-way tie, but that's pretty corny. So I guess in the number 3 spot, we'll put the electric sword, which used to be, in my opinion, the worst of all the swords. But the electric sword is crazy good now. Like with how quickly you can charge the special ability and then how many kills you can get with it. The electric sword's good. Is it the best? I don't know. I think it still goes in the 3rd spot. All I'm saying is before this update, if everyone else in the game took all the other swords and left me the electric sword, I was kind of disappointed, but I'm no longer going to be disappointed. This thing packs a punch. Come on, keep killing, keep killing, keep killing. The fact that we can do this on round 74 with the swords now is crazy. And then once it's charged, we use it and we just kill all the zombies. Dude, the ultimate's so good now. Oh, and there we go. That was all of round 74. Yeah, the sword buff actually made them super good. All right, and it's charged and electrocute all the zombies. It just charges so quick. Oh, cool. I just used Void and then... Yeah, I forgot when I use Ether Shroud, I can't knife with the sword. Because if you do... you know, why don't I take that augment off? Really important. Until they fix this, make sure you go to Augments, go to Field Upgrades, Ether Shroud, get rid of Void Sheath because it will crash your lobby. And if you just saved and quit and loaded in, you'll just straight up lose that save. Because we just lost our round 71 save because I had Void Sheath on. Oh yeah, I forgot. Another change they made with this update is when you're using a mutant injection, you're no longer going to randomly spawn in without a cannon. Really annoying. Mainly when you're playing co-op and a teammate was using shock charges because that'd make it happen every single time. Craig. And back to round 55. This is the round when zombies start getting round 100 health. So all of the zombies on this round have the same health they'd have on round 100. Now for the second sword after the update, and this is a really hard choice because depending on what you're doing, the best sword kind of changes. This is going to be the light sword. Even after the nerf, the light sword is still one of the best swords in the entire game. And if I'm playing solo and not going to a super high round, the light sword is the first sword I'm building because it is just so good. Being able to get your armor back from hitting zombies is so nice. Even though you're getting less armor, it's still really good. And for the most part, I find myself having max armor at all times. It doesn't really seem like the nerf did much of anything to this sword. Like you can see here on round 55, slicing away at zombies, staying at full armor pretty much the entire time. And yeah, the ultimate got nerfed a little bit too, but it's not even noticeable. Honestly, the light sword feels better than what it was before because now that you can hit 2 zombies per swing, you can be a little bit more aggressive with it. So I don't know. Using the light sword after the update, it just feels all around better, even though it was technically nerfed. Oh, but the 2 kills per swing is so nice. Now, even though I'm putting the light sword in second place, I think for the majority of players, the light sword is going to be the best pick for you. If you don't plan to go to high rounds, just use the light sword. If you do plan to go to high rounds, and what I would consider a high round is any round past 250. If you're just going to like medium rounds, like round 100 or 150, then the light sword's probably going to be your best bet. But if you plan on going past round 150 to like 250, 500, 900, that's when you probably don't want to use the light sword. But for low to medium rounds, light sword's the best. And this only leaves 1 sword left for the number 1 position, and this is going to be the Void Sword. Now, the reason I'm putting the Void Sword at number 1 is pretty obvious. It's the pure amount of raw killing potential it has. And now that you can charge it even quicker, it's just more killing potential. And there we go. Now we're ready for another horde. And activate. All horde dead. And guess what? Now we just get 25 kills again. I don't know. In my opinion, the Void Sword is already one of the best swords, and it got a massive buff. All right, get another horde. And horde gone. Are we ready again already? Yeah, and we're ready again already. Time for a lot more zombie kills. And it doesn't matter what round you go to, the Void Sword's always going to perform like this. It's always going to one-slash zombies, and the ultimate's always going to insta-kill zombies. If I can... Hello? 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 There we go. And all the zombies are dead again. Yeah, the Void Sword got a massive glow up. It was already so good. It is so nice now. The pure killing potential of this sword is insane. So with that, that is my complete ranking of the new buff swords in Citadel. The only thing we didn't try is to see how these swords perform against the bosses. For all we know, one of the swords is really good against the bosses now. However, that would require taking all 4 swords against the boss, which we might save for a different video, but we've already been recording this video for a very long time. We're like 6 hours into this simple patch video. But overall, let me know how you feel about this update. Overall, it was a double-edged sword. A lot of good stuff like the sword buffs. Being able to kill 2 zombies per swing is massive, and it makes the swords usable even on higher rounds. Like, we were on round 70, and we were kind of just frying zombies. And the buffs to the abilities, also really great overall. However, the nerfs to directed mode and the other nerfs, kind of lame. Really wish we didn't see nerfs on those. But anyway, with that, that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. Peace. God damn it. Why can't I activate the rift? This is so annoying, actually. Like, what is going on with this sword? It keeps airing out. Like, what the I think it's just a skill issue of me being able to use it.